Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hey guys, love the show. Jared Davis here. I think it would be a horrendous idea to draft any of the guys coming out this year for multiple reasons, but specifically when we talk about Mendoza, when you look at his stats versus Sanders' stats, the main thing that pops out to me is if Shedeur had been in the Heisman running this year, he would have completely ran away with it. His stats completely blow Mendoza's out of the water. And then you got to stick with the guy that actually has NFL experience versus bringing in a guy who struggled at times this year, definitely has some flashes for sure, but I don't think you would want to hinge your whole organization on somebody that's not proven. I feel like Sanders, while he's had his ups and downs, for him to be a fifth-round pick and come in and do the things that he's shown on film without having a full offseason, I think that's more than enough to work with. I think if you can win a Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer, you absolutely can stick with Sanders and build around that.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Let's welcome in Lance Rosen from the Plain Dealer, cleveland.com. There's a lot all over the place, but I would say this. If you're drafting, I would not combine first-round picks, and I've said that consistently, to move up and get a quarterback. In order to do that, you have to feel this is like a generational type quarterback, not simply the best quarterback in the draft. With where they're picking, I don't think they're going to have a chance to get Mendoza. I think Mendoza is going to be taken by either the Raiders or the Jets, and that's fine. Relative to him versus Sanders, I don't know at this point. The only thing I'll say about Sanders is I'm curious to see more of him.
Yeah, it's funny when you talk. It's funny when you say it like that. So when you think about generational guys, you're thinking about John Elway, Andrew Luck, where guys there's none that are ever foolproof. We know that, but guys who they seem like they check all the boxes. And right now, I don't think any of these guys do. Now, I haven't gotten into my breakdowns like I will starting next Monday, but none of those guys really, for me, even to say those guys are past Nussmeier at this point, I want to see it on film. And I agree with the caller in terms of the experience. Now, for me, unless you're a generational guy, you got to build around a quarterback because all these guys are going to be guys you win with, not because of. So you need offensive linemen. You need to retool the tight end spot if you're not going to bring Njoku back behind Fannin. You have to absolutely gut the receiver room. That has to be a whole start from square one, maybe keeping Judy as a number 2. So there are so many things that need to be addressed on this offense that before I would take a quarterback, but that's my opinion. If they feel that there's a guy that they love and they have higher on their board, maybe that's the case. But for me, I think Sanders has shown enough. And once again, I'm also a Dylan Gabriel fan. So you have 2 young guys that now have experience, that can help, that can, I think, win some games. And I'm with you. I'm intrigued by Sanders and the things he's done and the poise. But more importantly, what I see on film, the ability to be his footwork and the things that he struggled with, he's really improved. So, I'm not into the quarterbacks right now, but I'm looking forward to breaking them down to see why people are so high on them. I've watched Mendoza more, a couple of these guys, and I'm not sure that you want to give the keys to a franchise to guys that are unproven and have some holes in their game.
Yeah, and again, I'm with you relative. The thought is, you can pair that pick later. It keeps getting later in the first round because Jacksonville keeps winning. You pair that with the Browns, which is now 5 or 6. I'm out on that. I don't. Neither one of these guys, and I've seen multiple games. I haven't gone back and watched them 3 or 4 times, but neither one of these guys has been like, man, that guy's going to be a stud in the NFL. That isn't an initial impression of either Mendoza or Moore. And I think you'd need that in order to give up a first-round pick that's as high as the Browns have, plus a later one.